How many continents are there, and what are they?
There are 7 continents: Africa, Antarctica, Asia, Australia, Oceania, Europe, North America, and South America. Together they make up all the land mass on Earth.
Which is the largest continent by area?
Asia is the largest continent, covering about 44.6 million square kilometers, roughly 30% of the Earth's total land area.
Which is the smallest continent by area?
Australia, Oceania, is the smallest continent at about 8.5 million square kilometers, though some classifications consider it the world's largest island.
Which continent has the most countries?
Africa has the most countries with 54 recognized sovereign states. It is also the second largest and second most populous continent.
Which is the only continent with no permanent human population?
Antarctica has no permanent residents. It hosts rotating research station personnel, typically 1,000 to 5,000 people depending on the season.
What is the largest country in the world by area?
Russia is the largest country at approximately 17.1 million square kilometers, spanning Eastern Europe and Northern Asia across 11 time zones.
What is the second largest country in the world by area?
Canada is the second largest country at about 10 million square kilometers. It has the longest coastline of any country in the world.
What is the third largest country in the world by area?
The United States, including Alaska and Hawaii, is the third largest at about 9.8 million square kilometers, though China is nearly the same size depending on measurement methods.
What is the largest country in Africa by area?
Algeria is the largest country in Africa at about 2.38 million square kilometers, located in North Africa along the Mediterranean coast.
What is the largest country in South America by area?
Brazil is the largest country in South America at about 8.5 million square kilometers. It covers nearly half of the continent's land area.
What is the most populous country in the world?
India surpassed China as the most populous country in 2023, with over 1.4 billion people. China remains close behind with a similar population.
What is the most populous country in Africa?
Nigeria is the most populous African country with over 220 million people. It is projected to become one of the top 3 most populous countries globally by 2050.
What is the most populous country in Europe?
Russia is the most populous if European Russia is counted. Within the EU, Germany is the most populous with about 84 million people.
What is the most populous country in South America?
Brazil has over 210 million people, making it the most populous country in South America and the 7th most populous in the world.
What is the longest river in the world?
The Nile River is traditionally considered the longest at about 6,650 kilometers, flowing northward through northeastern Africa to the Mediterranean Sea. Some measurements suggest the Amazon may be longer.
What is the largest river by volume of water discharge?
The Amazon River in South America has the greatest discharge, releasing about 209,000 cubic meters per second into the Atlantic Ocean, more than the next 7 largest rivers combined.
What river flows through the most capital cities?
The Danube River flows through or borders 4 capital cities: Vienna, Bratislava, Budapest, and Belgrade. It is the second longest river in Europe at about 2,850 kilometers.
What is the longest river in Asia?
The Yangtze River, Changjiang, is the longest river in Asia at about 6,300 kilometers. It flows entirely within China from the Tibetan Plateau to the East China Sea.
What is the longest river in North America?
The Missouri River is the longest at about 3,767 kilometers, though the Mississippi-Missouri River system, about 6,275 kilometers, is often cited as the major river system of the continent.
What is the longest river in Europe?
The Volga River is the longest river in Europe at about 3,530 kilometers. It flows through central Russia and empties into the Caspian Sea.
What is the highest mountain in the world?
Mount Everest in the Himalayas stands at 8,849 meters, 29,032 feet, above sea level. It sits on the border between Nepal and Tibet, China.
What is the highest mountain in Africa?
Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania stands at 5,895 meters. It is a dormant stratovolcano and the highest freestanding mountain in the world.
What is the highest mountain in Europe?
Mount Elbrus in Russia's Caucasus Mountains stands at 5,642 meters. If only Western Europe is considered, Mont Blanc, 4,809 m, in the Alps is the highest.
What is the highest mountain in North America?
Denali, formerly Mount McKinley, in Alaska stands at 6,190 meters. It has the largest base-to-peak rise of any mountain on Earth's surface.
What is the highest mountain in South America?
Aconcagua in Argentina stands at 6,961 meters. It is the highest peak in both the western and southern hemispheres.
What mountain range is the longest in the world?
The Andes in South America extend about 7,000 kilometers along the western coast from Venezuela to southern Chile. They are the longest continental mountain range.
What mountain range contains Mount Everest?
The Himalayas stretch about 2,400 kilometers across 5 countries: India, Nepal, Bhutan, China, and Pakistan. They contain 10 of the world's 14 peaks above 8,000 meters.
What are the Alps?
The Alps are the highest and most extensive mountain range in Europe, stretching about 1,200 kilometers across 8 countries. Mont Blanc, 4,809 m, is the highest peak.
What is the largest desert in the world?
The Antarctic polar desert is technically the largest at about 14.2 million square kilometers. Among hot deserts, the Sahara is the largest at about 9.2 million square kilometers.
What is the Sahara Desert?
The Sahara is the world's largest hot desert, covering about 9.2 million square kilometers across North Africa. It spans 11 countries and is roughly the size of the United States.
What is the Gobi Desert?
The Gobi Desert stretches across northern China and southern Mongolia, covering about 1.3 million square kilometers. It is a cold desert with extreme temperature variations.
What is the Atacama Desert known for?
The Atacama Desert in Chile is considered the driest non-polar desert on Earth. Some weather stations there have never recorded rainfall. It is also a prime location for astronomical observatories.
How many oceans are there, and what are they?
There are 5 recognized oceans: Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, Southern, Antarctic, and Arctic. The Pacific is the largest, covering more area than all the land on Earth combined.
What is the largest ocean?
The Pacific Ocean is the largest and deepest ocean, covering about 165.25 million square kilometers, more than 30% of the Earth's surface.
What is the smallest ocean?
The Arctic Ocean is the smallest and shallowest ocean at about 14.06 million square kilometers. It is mostly covered by sea ice, especially in winter.
What is the deepest point in the ocean?
The Challenger Deep in the Mariana Trench, Pacific Ocean, is the deepest known point at about 10,935 meters, 35,876 feet, below sea level.
What is the Mediterranean Sea?
The Mediterranean Sea is a nearly landlocked sea connected to the Atlantic Ocean by the Strait of Gibraltar. It is bordered by Europe, Africa, and Asia, covering about 2.5 million square kilometers.
What is the largest sea in the world?
The Philippine Sea is the largest marginal sea at about 5.7 million square kilometers, located in the western Pacific Ocean east of the Philippines.
What is the Caspian Sea?
The Caspian Sea is the world's largest enclosed inland body of water, covering about 371,000 square kilometers. Despite its name, it is technically a lake bordered by 5 countries.
What is the largest freshwater lake by surface area?
Lake Superior in North America is the largest freshwater lake by surface area at about 82,100 square kilometers. It is one of the 5 Great Lakes.
What is the deepest lake in the world?
Lake Baikal in Siberia, Russia, is the deepest lake at about 1,642 meters deep. It contains about 20% of the world's unfrozen surface fresh water.
What is the largest lake in Africa?
Lake Victoria is the largest lake in Africa by surface area at about 68,800 square kilometers. It is bordered by Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania and is a source of the Nile.
What is the highest navigable lake in the world?
Lake Titicaca, on the border of Peru and Bolivia, sits at about 3,812 meters above sea level. It is the largest lake in South America by volume.
What is the largest island in the world?
Greenland is the largest island at about 2.17 million square kilometers. Australia is considered a continent, not an island. It is an autonomous territory of Denmark.
What is the second largest island in the world?
New Guinea is the second largest island at about 786,000 square kilometers. It is divided between Papua New Guinea, east, and Indonesian provinces, west.
What is the largest island in the Mediterranean Sea?
Sicily is the largest Mediterranean island at about 25,711 square kilometers. It belongs to Italy and is separated from the mainland by the Strait of Messina.
What are tectonic plates?
Tectonic plates are massive segments of Earth's lithosphere that move, float, and interact on the semi-fluid asthenosphere. Their movements cause earthquakes, volcanic activity, and mountain formation.
How many major tectonic plates are there?
There are 7 major tectonic plates: Pacific, North American, Eurasian, African, Antarctic, Indo-Australian, and South American. There are also several minor plates.
What is the Ring of Fire?
The Ring of Fire is a horseshoe-shaped zone around the Pacific Ocean where about 75% of the world's volcanoes are found and about 90% of earthquakes occur. It stretches about 40,000 kilometers.
What is the San Andreas Fault?
The San Andreas Fault is a transform plate boundary in California, about 1,200 kilometers long. It marks where the Pacific Plate and the North American Plate slide past each other.
What happens at convergent plate boundaries?
At convergent boundaries, 2 tectonic plates move toward each other. This can create mountain ranges, e.g., the Himalayas, volcanic arcs, or deep ocean trenches through subduction.
What is latitude?
Latitude measures how far north or south a point is from the equator, expressed in degrees from 0 degrees, equator, to 90 degrees, poles. Lines of latitude run east-west and are called parallels.
What is longitude?
Longitude measures how far east or west a point is from the prime meridian, expressed in degrees from 0 degrees to 180 degrees. Lines of longitude run north-south and are called meridians.
What is the equator?
The equator is an imaginary line at 0 degrees latitude that divides the Earth into the northern and southern hemispheres. It is about 40,075 kilometers long and passes through 13 countries.
What is the prime meridian?
The prime meridian is the 0 degrees longitude line running from the North Pole to the South Pole through Greenwich, London. It divides the Earth into the eastern and western hemispheres.
What is the Tropic of Cancer?
The Tropic of Cancer is at approximately 23.5 degrees north latitude. It is the northernmost latitude where the sun can appear directly overhead, which occurs during the June solstice.
What is the Tropic of Capricorn?
The Tropic of Capricorn is at approximately 23.5 degrees south latitude. It is the southernmost latitude where the sun can appear directly overhead during the December solstice.
What is the Arctic Circle?
The Arctic Circle is at approximately 66.5 degrees north latitude. North of this line, there is at least 1 day per year of continuous daylight, midnight sun, and 1 day of continuous darkness, polar night.
What is the Antarctic Circle?
The Antarctic Circle is at approximately 66.5 degrees south latitude. South of it, there is at least one 24-hour period of continuous sunlight and one of continuous darkness each year.
What is the International Dateline?
The International Dateline, IDL, roughly follows the 180 degrees meridian in the Pacific Ocean. Crossing it westward advances the date by 1 day, crossing eastward sets it back 1 day.
How many time zones are there in the world?
There are 24 standard time zones, each roughly 15 degrees of longitude apart. However, some countries and territories use offset time zones, e.g., India at UTC plus 5:30, resulting in more than 24 in practice.
What are the 5 major climate zones?
The 5 major climate zones are tropical, dry, arid, temperate, continental, and polar. This classification is based on the Köppen climate system.
What is a tropical climate?
A tropical climate, Köppen Group A, has warm temperatures year-round with average monthly temperatures above 18 degrees Celsius. It is found near the equator and includes rainforest, monsoon, and savanna subtypes.
What is a tundra biome?
The tundra is a treeless biome found in polar regions and high mountains, characterized by permafrost, very low temperatures, and limited vegetation like mosses, lichens, and small shrubs.
What is a savanna biome?
A savanna, or tropical grassland, is a biome with a mix of grasses and scattered trees. It has distinct wet and dry seasons and is found in Africa, South America, and Australia.
What is a taiga, boreal forest?
The taiga is the world's largest terrestrial biome, stretching across northern North America, Europe, and Asia. It is dominated by coniferous trees like spruce, pine, and fir.
What is a temperate deciduous forest?
A temperate deciduous forest has trees that lose their leaves seasonally. Found in eastern North America, Europe, and East Asia, it has 4 distinct seasons with moderate rainfall.
What is the Great Barrier Reef?
The Great Barrier Reef off northeastern Australia is the world's largest coral reef system, stretching about 2,300 kilometers. It is visible from space and is a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
What is the driest place on Earth?
The dry valleys of Antarctica are considered the driest place, having received virtually no precipitation for about 2 million years. Among inhabited places, the Atacama Desert in Chile is the driest.
What is the wettest place on Earth?
Mawsynram in Meghalaya, India, holds the record for highest average annual rainfall at about 11,871 millimeters, 467 inches. Nearby Cherrapunji is also extremely wet.
What is the hottest temperature ever recorded on Earth?
The highest reliably recorded temperature is 56.7 degrees Celsius 134 degrees Fahrenheit, measured at Furnace Creek in Death Valley, California, USA, on July 10, 1913.
What is the coldest temperature ever recorded on Earth?
The lowest recorded temperature is -89.2 degrees Celsius -128.6 degrees Fahrenheit, measured at the Soviet Vostok Station in Antarctica on July 21, 1983.
What is the highest waterfall in the world?
Angel Falls, Salto Ángel, in Venezuela is the world's highest uninterrupted waterfall at 979 meters, 3,212 feet. It drops from the edge of the Ollantaytambo mountain.
What is the longest wall ever built?
The Great Wall of China stretches over 21,000 kilometers, including all its branches and sections built over many centuries. The most well-known sections were built during the Ming Dynasty.
What is the Dead Sea?
The Dead Sea is a hypersaline lake bordered by Jordan, Israel, and the West Bank. Its surface is about 430 meters below sea level, making it the lowest land-based elevation on Earth.
What is the largest plateau in the world?
The Tibetan Plateau is the largest and highest plateau, with an average elevation exceeding 4,500 meters. It is often called the roof of the world.
What is Pangaea?
Pangaea was a supercontinent that existed about 335 to 175 million years ago, containing most of Earth's landmass. It broke apart into Laurasia, north, and Gondwana, south, due to plate tectonics.
What is the continental divide?
A continental divide is a ridge of high ground that separates river systems flowing to different sides of a continent. In North America, the Great Divide runs along the Rocky Mountains.
What is the difference between weather and climate?
Weather is the short-term state of the atmosphere, hours to days, while climate is the average of weather patterns over long periods, typically 30-plus years, for a region.
What is an archipelago?
An archipelago is a chain, cluster, or collection of islands. Examples include Indonesia, the world's largest archipelago, the Philippines, Japan, and the Maldives.
What is a peninsula?
A peninsula is a landmass surrounded by water on three sides but connected to the mainland. Examples include the Iberian Peninsula, the Korean Peninsula, and Florida.
What is an isthmus?
An isthmus is a narrow strip of land connecting two larger landmasses. The Isthmus of Panama connects North and South America, and the Isthmus of Suez connects Africa and Asia.
What is a strait?
A strait is a narrow passage of water connecting two larger bodies of water. Examples include the Strait of Gibraltar, the Strait of Malacca, and the Bering Strait.
What is a delta?
A delta is a landform created by sediment deposition where a river meets a slower-moving or standing body of water. The Nile Delta, Ganges Delta, and Mississippi Delta are famous examples.
What is an atoll?
An atoll is a ring-shaped coral reef or island encircling a lagoon. Atolls form when coral grows around a volcanic island that later sinks, leaving the reef ring. The Maldives are mostly atolls.
What is the largest country in Europe by area?
Ukraine is the largest country entirely within Europe at about 603,500 square kilometers. If European Russia is included, Russia's European portion is much larger.
What is the smallest country in the world?
Vatican City is the smallest country at about 0.44 square kilometers, 110 acres. It is an independent city-state enclaved within Rome, Italy, and is the headquarters of the Roman Catholic Church.
What is the most densely populated country?
Monaco is the most densely populated country, with about 26,000 people per km superscript 2. The small city-state on the French Riviera covers only about 2.02 square kilometers.
What is the Strait of Gibraltar?
The Strait of Gibraltar is a narrow waterway separating Europe, Spain, from Africa, Morocco. It connects the Atlantic Ocean to the Mediterranean Sea and is only about 14 kilometers wide at its narrowest.
What is the Panama Canal?
The Panama Canal is a 77 kilometers artificial waterway in Panama connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. Completed in 1914, it revolutionized global shipping by eliminating the need to sail around South America.
What is the Suez Canal?
The Suez Canal is a 193 kilometers artificial waterway in Egypt connecting the Mediterranean Sea to the Red Sea. Opened in 1869, it provides the shortest maritime route between Europe and Asia.
What is the largest landlocked country?
Kazakhstan is the world's largest landlocked country at about 2.72 million square kilometers. It is located in Central Asia and borders Russia, China, and 3 other countries.
What is the longest coastline of any country?
Canada has the longest coastline at about 202,080 kilometers, including its mainland and island coasts. This is largely due to its extensive Arctic archipelago.
What is permafrost?
Permafrost is ground that remains frozen for at least 2 consecutive years. It is found primarily in polar regions and covers about 25% of the Northern Hemisphere's land surface.
What is the Great Rift Valley?
The Great Rift Valley is a continuous geographic trench running from Lebanon's Bekaa Valley to Mozambique in southeastern Africa. It is caused by tectonic plate divergence and contains many lakes and volcanoes.
What are the Great Lakes of North America?
The Great Lakes are 5 large freshwater lakes: Superior, Michigan, Huron, Erie, and Ontario, remembered by the acronym HOMES. Together they hold about 21% of the world's surface fresh water.
What is the Amazon rainforest?
The Amazon rainforest covers about 5.5 million square kilometers, spanning 9 countries in South America. It is the world's largest tropical rainforest and produces about 6% of the world's oxygen.
What is the Mariana Trench?
The Mariana Trench is the deepest oceanic trench, located in the western Pacific Ocean east of the Mariana Islands. Its deepest point, the Challenger Deep, is about 10,935 meters below sea level.
What is the largest volcano on Earth?
Mauna Loa in Hawaii is the largest active volcano on Earth by volume and area, rising about 4,169 m above sea level. Measured from its base on the ocean floor, it stands over 9,000 m tall.
What is the difference between a gulf and a bay?
Both are bodies of water partially enclosed by land. A gulf is generally larger, more deeply indented, and more enclosed than a bay, though the terms are sometimes used interchangeably.